Hey guys, welcome to this continuation episode of Cyberpunk 2077. Today, we're going to talk about what we think about the recent news of Sony pulling Cyberpunk 2077 out of its stores. And do you kind of think that Microsoft's going to follow? That's on today's episode. So, with this recent news, how do you feel about what Sony did?
Business-wise, good and bad. Like I understand why they did it. You know what I mean? With all the drama going on, like they want to kind of detach themselves from it. Why they're like pulling it off like their online stores? Like to me, I want to say it's a little like. I want to say childish. I know that's not the word I'm really looking for, but it's... I don't think it was the smartest decision. Like, you still have it getting re-released in the upcoming year. So what's their plan? Like, that's all I can, like, ask myself. Like, what's their plan when it gets re-released? Are they going to bring it back into their stores when it's like re-released for their next gen console, or are they just going to say no, we're not releasing it anymore? Well,
then the people that bought those hard copies are going to be worth some money, huh?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, is it when it comes down to it? Would that be CD Projekt's like fault in that sense? Like with all the pre-orders of the PS5 version.
I don't know. I mean, it just caught me by surprise. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you know, I've had my input about the game quite a bit. I think it's a great game. Now, I'm playing on the Series X, so I'm not really having that many problems with it. But I also understand that, you know, you have a game of this magnitude, and people want more and more and more put into a game. So, obviously, the better consoles, just like a better computer, are going to run it better.
Yeah.
Well, so it seems to be a lot of the people that are having a lot of problems, are playing on base models. Well, I don't mean to be that ass, but what's to be expected? This is a big game. There is a lot going on. You know, that's like grabbing like a computer from, let's say, the 80s and complaining that you can't play World of Warcraft on it, you know, without frame issues, this and that. It's like, I'm kind of touched here because it's a tough scenario because, you know, I'm not saying the people that have the base model shouldn't be able to play the game, but at what point in time could you decide, okay, here's the line drawn. If you want to be able to play this game, then you have to have a better machine to play this product. If not, like, kind of, I don't want to be that guy, but, you know, majority rules.
Yeah, like, you know? I fully get people's complaints about it, like, them not showing console game footage. Like, they were showing the best game footage that you could get from it.
Yes, but
which marketing wise
hold on. CD Projekt Red though makes computer games.
Yeah, well that's like, what I was
The Witcher 3
saying.
Was an amazing port. Do not get me wrong, it was an amazing port. But this is a company that focuses on PC games.
Yeah.
So how much, what are they supposed to show? Yes, they should have said, hey, this is PlayStation footage. This is, you know, base Xbox One footage. I agree. The marketing there was bad.
No other company does that. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like...
But you're also dealing with, all of a sudden, new
for next generation.
But hold on. No, they didn't. This is where we can argue with this. So, you're launching a game right when the launch of the next generation systems are coming out. Right? Those generations of systems aren't even... The game's not even made yet for it. So you're bringing it at the end of the life cycle of the previous.
But that's what I'm saying. I think their original plan was to... It was meant to be a next generation game.
Yes.
To bring it down to the base models, which most companies do for like that in-between period kind of thing, they had to kind of
improvise
dumb
and
it
take
down
stuff out.
kind of thing. Like, lessen the graphics. Like, you can't expect the game to be running at with all the graphics, ray tracing, all that stuff on these old, like,
That's what I mean.
past generation consoles. Like, we agree, but like, we disagree on, I guess, reasoning. But it's, for me, it's, don't expect it to be what you're seeing there. Like,
No.
I'll tell you right now, like, when I saw the trailer, like, I saw the gameplay footage, like, I was like, oh, this is what I'm gonna get to see on even a base model. Like, yeah, it did kind of like pull my leg, if you will, or like they got me.
Yes.
But in that sense, it's still, that was, in like the way I look at it, it was my fault for not really looking too depth, which they didn't give us that much information about where the quality differences would lie, and like that's where most people are mad. But it's when you get down to the nitty gritty, like be happy with, like, the game's
So-
not bad.
No.
It's not worth
So
getting pulled.
That's what I was going to go on to for a second. So I'm going to say again, I am playing on the Series X. Okay? I am having a great time with this game. A great time.
Yeah.
I do, however, wish that I would have waited until the Series X version came out, before I started playing it.
Yeah.
Because I am tainted by it. It's not, oh my god, look at this beautifulness.
Yeah.
It's not that type of game. The game has me. Now I've put in, 35, 40 hours, something like that. So I'm into this game. And it's not the graphics that keep me in it. It's not even the story. It's what you can do.
Well,
The customization to your character alone through the mods, through this. So it has me. But when you first saw the trailer for the game before it got released, you're like you said, this is the game I'm going to be playing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then you get it, and you are kind of let down a little bit. But the core of the game is still there. So now, for people who are going to return to it, come whenever the versions get released and everything, all the bugs get fixed, then that might be something to look forward to. But for Sony to pull that from the digital store, I mean, I have no idea. They're still making money. People were refunding the game, planes back and forth. I know CD Projekt Red said that, stores that weren't returning them, you can return them back to them. So they know something's up. Now there's this news about there's in-house arguments going on, lawsuits. Who knows what's going on right at the heart of everything.
Yeah.
The only people that know are the ones that are there.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I wanted to talk about this whole Sony pulling this, and what does this do for Microsoft? Because I personally think that Microsoft is going to benefit from Sony pulling out majorly, because this community is so divided right now. Either people love the game, or they complain about all the bugs that it has and hate it.
Okay,
Right?
I have one question. Okay, so we've talked about it before. One of my favorite, one of those games that I do love, which I feel alone on it at some states, is Fallout 76.
Yes.
Now, Fallout 76, same issue. You were told you would be this. You were promised all this stuff. They didn't hold up their end. They are starting to they are making the game better as they go. But when it was first released, the complaints, the bugs, everything, I'd say it's at the same, if not even a little more than Cyberpunk 2077. To pull Cyberpunk out and Andromeda that had those same graphical issues or Fallout, what because
See, I don't want to be that guy, but for me it's really hard because I haven't had these problems in the game. I honestly haven't. I've had minor little things, but every game has them.
Exactly.
And the way our quality control works for games now is, you might as well not buy a new release anyways for the first month, because you're going to be patching it like crazy, which I've been against for a long time. There should be a higher standard of quality control when a game is released, unless you're releasing it as a preview copy.
Yeah.
See, you're talking about Fallout, I'm going to talk about No Man's Sky. That game had so much promise on its release. Let's just face it. The small percentage of people that liked the game, it sucked.
Yeah.
Okay? But when they re-released it, the game's great now.
Yeah.
There's so much more to do. So, these can be fixed, but the company's already said that their full model isn't out yet. They're still doing patchwork to it. They're still, they're doing for the new generation systems now too. So, again, my only argument here is, people, buy a game. We know it's not going to be fixed. The company never said it was fully done yet. So, therefore, technically you're buying a preview copy of it to play as it gets fixed, right? like Fallout
I
76.
just feel people are being so spoiled. Like,
No, but hold on. Like Fallout 76,
Yeah.
you know, and if you stick with it, then you're going to benefit from it. Or you just wait, and if you like it, you don't.
Yeah.
Same as any other game. Some people don't like every game they play. It doesn't matter if it's got the biggest hype ever, or if it's, you know, a good game or a bad game. It's a matter of opinion on people. But I think a lot of what's happening with Cyberpunk is the hype that went with the game
Yeah.
was so high. Like nothing could compete with that. I mean, you know, these are the guys that made Witcher 3 and blah, blah, blah. And when people got it, right away they jump on social media and, oh, Tommy had this bug happen to him. Well, this happened to me, because they're looking for these little things.
Yeah. Well,
they're not enjoying the experience of the actual game. Again, I am a very picky gamer. You know this. The game has its flaws, but it's fun for what it is. And if this company's going to proceed with it, and means, you know, for the next year they're going to be working on it, by all means, I will literally probably still want to try it out once it's finally done. My only wish is that they would have launched every single one of them, like every version of it, at the same time.
my whole thing, like, my whole, I guess, argument or like thing that irks me is like the game isn't. It's not bad enough to get pulled.
No.
Like, it's not that bad of a game or that broken of a game.
Yeah.
It's still playable.
Mm-hmm.
They've already like patched a lot of stuff like within the first few weeks of it being released. Like, yeah, you can complain that it shouldn't have had all those, shouldn't have needed all those patches, but still, like, every game does. Every
Skyrim, years later, still got patches.
Exactly. Like, every game, no game these days, like we've talked about in past episodes, comes out perfect.
No, and that's what I was saying about the quality control. We should have a higher standard of quality control before a game is released.
Yeah.
Because then you avoid this problem.
Yeah.
Now, this problem being said, what would they have experienced though if there would have been more of a delay? People would have been bitching, complaining about that part
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
I've said that before. They were in a no-win situation on this one, right? And it's like they just figured, okay, we'll let it out and we'll try and fix it as we go along, not expecting this backlash.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them because, again, they made a product that people enjoy or they hate. And the ones that hate are making the biggest deal out of it. It's not just, oh, I'll return it to my local GameStop
Yeah.
and be like,
That's what I
whatever.
don't
They
think-
make these huge rants about this. It's like,
If you don't like it, and
return it.
exactly, like, you've been offered your money back from
Yeah.
the company. If you can't return it to your local
Yeah.
stores, you can send it in and get your full refund.
Well,
Like,
because the outcome of all this, if, you know, as it's going bad, all I see happening now, and I don't want to, is that CD Projekt Red's just going to fold their company and be like, we're done.
well, that's what I mean. Like,
And like that means next is that, like, we're not. I'm a Witcher fan. I thought Witcher 3 was a great game. You know, we're not going to see a Witcher 4. We're not going to see another project by them because
I don't think they would
This
fold
is-
like that, but I think it, like, at this point, like, it's within, like, the next year, like, that's where the real, like, deciding factor, like, where they're gonna have to decide, like, whether they keep on going, like,
Yeah.
with the game. Like, they
See-
offer free DLCs, like, they are giving back to those people that are gonna stay.
I
Loyal,
agree.
if you will, to
I
it.
agree.
But, like,
I just think this whole thing personally is just an issue of greed. I think that somebody within, you know, that element saw Christmas time and went, we want this
oh
out
yeah,
before
of
Christmas.
course, of
They
course.
say it's not ready.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah,
You know, and
Of
now
course.
these developers have to pay for their mistake of somebody else higher up saying, hey, now I'm not saying this is true, I'm just saying that's my opinion on it.
It's-
If somebody wanted this out
the
for
way I
Christmas
see
to
it
make the money,
happening
and now
is you have your base model, like your last gen model game coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they give, in their sense, we're giving people that option. The base model's not going to run as well. They're not telling people, but that's their idea. Like,
That's just common
you know
sense,
what I mean?
though.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, legitimate common sense.
you want the game to come out that bad, you're gonna, like, you know, stress about it that bad, like, coming out at a specific time and not wanting to wait. Well, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, in my eyes, like, if I was that guy, like, yeah, you don't want to release something unfinished, but in that sense, you're gonna complain, you're gonna cry about it so much. Oh, we want it released, we want it released. Well, it's not done yet. Well, we want it released, we want it released, we want. Here you go. oh well, it's not finished yet. Well,
Damned
why'd you release it?
Damned if you
yeah,
don't.
it's like, you know, like if you're that type of person where, you know what I mean, it's gonna ruin your life and you're gonna complain about that, like it has that big of an effect.
Yeah, but
wait till you get some reviews on the game.
that's what I mean. This is what I've seen happening with the game industry in general a lot lately.
You know what I mean? Like,
no game is perfect to most people, and the ones that don't like it bitch about every little thing there is, and ruining for the people that are actually enjoying it. I mean, you go on any social media right now, and majority of the things are people complaining about Cyberpunk. Well, you know what? If you don't like the game, don't play it.
exactly.
Enough with these false rumors, these false bullshit that's going on. Just, you know what? It's a game that came out. You don't like it. Fine. They're fixing it. Oh, that's not enough for you? Oh, I'm sorry. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You want everything to be perfect right away.
That's
but you wanted this game to come out before it was ready.
Yeah.
But you want it to be perfect when it comes out.
It's
not ready. Like,
people are just
so saying,
they're too spoiled in that sense. Like, honestly, I want a game company to just be like, yo, we're releasing it when we release it.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, like, fuck off then. Like, we don't want you. Then we don't want you as like a customer.
I've said it before. If a company needs to delay a game to make a better experience, let them.
Yeah.
There should be no arguments because there's obviously a reason.
Yeah. If you want the game that bad, you should be okay. Like, you should want them to like release it when they know it's ready. They know they're like, you know what I mean? Like, give them that. Like, just get off their backs. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
And this is what happens. This is the outcome of what happens when a company's pressured to doing something that they don't want to do and they're not ready for. The power of social media.
It's spoiled.
Yes, it is.
Spoiledness in my eyes. It's just. It's not even. Yeah, the company. We always know. Like, everybody knows. Companies are great. They want money. Because that's why they made that company. Like, you know what I mean? They're in it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want their fans, like this and that. Like, they have some love for it. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, it's money.
All about money.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly.
But this time it seems to be costing them a lot more than what they're going to make, right?
The fans or like the gamers, I feel like they're more so the villains than the development companies, all that sense. Like,
but not all though, because if you're buying a game and you know it's not going to be perfect. I said I am a perfect example.
Yeah.
The Xbox Series X version is not coming out until
but those
spring.
spoiled gamers.
But hold on, until spring.
Yeah.
I knew this.
Yeah.
I still purchased the game because I wanted to play it.
But you're not one of those people going out on social media like just going crazy like it ruins your life.
Obviously, a couple months from now, when it comes out for the Series X, it's going to run even better than it is right now. Okay, I chose to play it now.
Exactly.
Knowing all these things that, yes, it's come out early, yes, it's this, it's this.
Choice.
It's a massive, massive game with a lot of choice. There's going to be bugs. I chose to play it.
Exactly.
I like it. I'm not experiencing a lot of game-breaking bugs at all. I haven't experienced one, really. So I'm having a good time with it. So, but somebody who's playing on a base model, well, again, sorry, this is a massive, massive game. There is so much to do. So many little things you do, big things you do. It doesn't even matter.
That's what I mean.
That literally, what do you guys expect?
Those spoiled gamers where it's
it's not even spoiled gamers.
I want everything and it needs to be.
But it's not even spoiled gamers though. Again, this game at this point shouldn't even come out on a base model then. If it wasn't ready, they should have been like, sorry guys, we're launching it solely on, right now the Xbox One X version, and coming in a few months will be the Series X. Base models cannot run this. And then I think the marketing would have been a lot better. People would have understood. Complaining, well, I don't have this model, blah, 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 or I can't get, my hands on it, so I can't play it. But that's the few over the majority, right? So, I don't know. I wish this game the best. I really do, because I'm having a lot of fun.
So do I.
I hope that, the developers are able to keep this game patched and new content coming out as, the months come. I really do, because I am having a good time with it. And kind of can't wait to see what the outcome of this is. But thanks for watching this episode, actually, guys. Please don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about Sony pulling Cyberpunk off the stores. And give us a thumbs up and always subscribe down below for new content. Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a good one.